Hi everybody, welcome back to Redemption City Church Kids. I'm Brad, and this is our second week as we've been going over the armor of God. Now, for those of you who joined us last week, I hope that you had fun, and I hope that your salt dough really became firm so it could stand against anything that you try to break it with. And just like last week, we talked about how we needed to stand firm in Jesus and make sure that we were focusing on Him and making sure that nothing would be able to distract us from the awesome Savior that we have. And so I had a lot of fun last week, but I'm sure that you are very excited to actually go in and start talking about the actual pieces of armor of God. So the first piece of armor that we're going to be talking about is
I am so ready for this! Yeah, let's go! Let's go!
Well,
let's go!
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
You look excited.
I'm so excited. Bring on the enemy, bud. Bring them on.
So I see you're excited about the sword and the shield, and yeah, but we aren't actually going to start with that.
Why?
Well, the sword and the shield are very important. We're going to talk about those in future weeks, but thing is, there's actually a really important piece that we need to start with that kind of keeps all of our armor kept together.
Like glue?
No, not necessarily like glue. It's kind of actually, why don't you sit down and I'll go ahead and explain to our friends and to you. Thanks. So anyway, as I promised Mike, we will be talking about the sword and the shield in future weeks. Very important pieces of armor. But today we're going to be talking about the belt of truth. So 2,000 years ago, when the Roman soldiers would go to battle, thank you, Hudson, they would have a belt on that would hold everything together, much like this one.
Hey, that keeps my pants from falling down.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Now, this belt, sure, this keeps my pants from falling down, but the belts that the Roman soldier would wear they were much more complicated and had a much bigger purpose. You know, the belts themselves would have a shield on them, like to protect your front side. It would hold all of your weapons, and it would like fasten to your breastplate that is covering your chest. The belt was very, very important. You could say that without the belt, you actually wouldn't have armor at all because most of it would fall off. So let's actually read about what the Bible says about the belt of truth and what it means to wear it. So Ephesians 6:14 says, "Stand, therefore, having fastened on the belt of truth." So it says here that we're to put on the belt of truth. Now, what we just talked about is that the belt is extremely important and that it holds everything together. So in this case, Paul, who wrote Ephesians, he's saying you need to put on the belt of truth so you can put the rest of your armor on. That truth is so important because without the truth of Jesus at the center of who we are, the center of our armor, the rest of the armor is going to fall off. It's not going to work. Now, Jesus is not talking about just any truth. Jesus is talking about the truth of Him, what He did, what Jesus did for us. You know, there's lots of truths out there, such as corgis. They're really loud. And I think we saw it already, but Mike really loves swinging a sword around. So those things are both true, right? Absolutely true. But no, the truth that Jesus is talking about here is the truth of Jesus. The verse that we're going to focus on today is John 14:6, which says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." That truth of Jesus is what this verse is talking about. You know, if we know that Jesus died for us, that Jesus is our Savior, that Jesus is good, and He has only good promises for us, that truth becomes a big part of who we are, right? We have this belt. It's covering all of us. It's saying, I am a child of God, and I know who Jesus is. And so that truth allows us to put different pieces of armor on because we're already fit with the truth that is Jesus Christ. So that's so important. That's so good. And it says in Psalm 145 that the Father draws near to those who come to him in truth. And so you have Jesus with you. You have God with you every day. And that's what it means to wear that belt. You have this confidence that I have the Savior of the universe by my side. And how cool is that? That's so necessary. So we're going to do an experiment to show the difference between having the belt of truth on and not having the belt of truth on. Let's go. Hello there, and welcome to today's experiment. I am Bartholomew, and I am very excited to take you through this very important experiment on the belt of truth. Today, I have my very willing assistant, Hudson, with me. Hello, Hudson.
Hello.
Hello. Now, for this experiment, you'll need 3 very simple things. First, we have a pitcher filled with the water of your choice, and then we also have 2 clementine oranges, both of them currently with the peels on. Now, for this experiment, these oranges represent you and I. We will call this one Hudson 1, and we'll call this one Hudson 2. They're both Hudsons. But the thing is, both of them currently have the belt of truth on. It is their peel. It is the belt of truth. Now, what we are going to test is if these oranges will indeed float with the belt of truth on and with the belt of truth off. So, shall we endeavor? Let's do it. Now would be a very good time for you to go and grab your supplies. So if you need to pause this video, we will wait patiently paused while you grab them. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your oranges, and one of you must unpeel one of the oranges. You need to keep the peel on the other one. So Hudson, why don't you start peeling off that orange? So what's happening here is this is one of us who has the truth of Jesus, the belt of truth, fastened around us. It's covering us entirely. We have Jesus very close to us, and we are hoping, we're going to be able to float, and we will not sink in the water. And therefore, we'll be able to fight off whatever the devil has to throw against us. Now, unfortunately, Hudson's orange here is not going to have the belt of truth on, and so it's going to potentially drown without the belt of truth around it. So let's see, how are we doing, Mr. Hudson? Are we doing well? Look at that! Now for this experiment, it's extremely important that you not take out this little nubbin in the middle of the orange. That will wreck the entire experiment, and we don't want that. So, Hudson, are we ready to try this?
Yes.
Alright, well, first, hold on to that one. Let's see what happens when you have the belt of truth on, shall we? Alright, here we go. And it floats to the top. I'd say the belt of truth makes it very successful, wouldn't you say? Alright, now we must see what happens when you do not have the belt of truth on. Go ahead and put that in, Hudson. Whoa! Oh no. Oh, it does not float! I'd say that experiment was successful!
It was.
It was indeed. So, you can see from here, when you have the belt of truth on, you're able to float to the top. You're able to say, yes, I have Jesus with me, I'm strong, I will not be sunken by whatever is thrown at me. But, if you unfortunately don't have the belt of truth, what happens?
You will sink to the bottom.
You will sink to the bottom, then you have to try and fight your way to the top, and it won't work. So I'd say we have proven, beyond a measurable doubt, that the belt of truth is extremely important and keeps us afloat. Thank you for your help, Mr. Hudson. So that was fun. It was very easy to see that when you didn't have the belt of truth wrapped around you, you sink. You'd be not ready to fight, right? Because you're going to sink to the bottom and you're not going to be strong. And that's why this belt of truth is so important. When you think of a belt, you probably don't think it's that important in any outfit or important to the armor of God, but it's the first one. And the reason that he made this the first one is because it's so important to have the truth of the goodness of Jesus is so close to your heart. The truth of his love is right with us, and we're ready to put on the rest of the armor of God. So I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about more pieces.
I'm ready.
I think you are, Mike. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
It's my glue.
It is your glue.